Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, my name is Anneke and this is Editing Anneke. The bits of video you're going to see have been recorded over 2 weeks ago, and I knew that if I wasn't going to edit them there and then and post them online, it wouldn't happen due to me going to the Netherlands where there's, well, not in all of the Netherlands, but where I was going to, it was going to be horrible internet. And as you can see, I didn't manage to edit it, nor did I manage to post it. So, a very, very delayed video of what I've done last month, the second half of last month. And yeah, I don't know, at this moment in time, I haven't looked at all the bits of video yet. I'm afraid I might repeat myself several times. I don't know, and it might also be a bit rushed because I was rushing it. Sorry. Hopefully it will kind of turn out okay, and if not, I hope that the next one will be better. So without further ado, here's the video that should have gone out 2 weeks ago. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, my name is Anneke. In today's episode, an almost finished object. I call it finished. It's not finished, but I call it finished. And a couple of whips, and I even have acquisitions. So I did film little bits as and when I went along. So I will try to edit them in places, which might be a bit jarring at times because I don't know what I said when. You know, there's no one walking around with a notebook going, oh, and this is what you said then, you know, don't repeat yourself. I guess I will repeat myself. So there you go. There's your warning for today. I might repeat myself. So the finished object is the chestnut brown sweater made in woolly knit. And as you can see, there's a difference in color, and there will be close-ups in the videos. I panicked. What can I say? I panicked. I wasn't sure I was going to make it with the 500-gram cone. Spoiler alert, I could have made it with the 500 grams, but since I was holding the yarn double, it was quite difficult to figure out how much further I could do, how much yarn I actually had. Anyway, so I chose to finish it with, when a certain amount of yarn ran out, because I wound it up on a ball. When that ran out, I decided to do the rest with cakey green, I think it is, also from woolly knit. And then I finished it with an I-cord bind off in brown again. I put it on, as in I fitted it, and it's very interesting to see, because this one is to replace a cream-coloured sweater. That particular cream-coloured sweater has the same dimensions. I mean, size-wise, it's the same. The difference is that this one's made with darts, because I didn't particularly like the way it was hanging around my body. And now I've made this. Turns out I've gotten so used to the way the other one was hanging around my body that now that I've got something that fits my body, I go like, that's different. Of course it's different. I was aiming for different. And I've been thinking about it a lot, to the point where I even considered ripping out the entire thing. because now that it hangs around my body straight because of the darts, it is more boxy. It's more, does this make sense? It's more boxy than I anticipated, because before it would hang on a slant because the front would be shorter than the back, which then makes it, even though it's boxy, it kind of makes it cling to the body in a certain way, and this one doesn't because it hangs straight. And I've decided to leave it because, first of all, it's a lot of work, and I'm gonna leave it, live with it, and take my lessons forwards. So if I really think that this is too boxy, for me, too oversized, I'll just take it forward to the next project. This sweater is also, is it boxy? It's a bit boxy. Yeah, it's a really straight fit, but it's a bit narrower than that one, and I really like this one. So yeah, it was just interesting to see my own thought process when I put it on. I thought, oh, this is different. And it's exact. The measurements as it stands are exact. So the sleeves are exact the same. The width of the body is exactly the same. The only thing, of course, really different is the neckline, because this has got a kind of scooped neckline, and the original one has a kind of turtlenecky thing going on. So the only thing left to do for me is to weave in the ends, which that's where the almost finished comes in, and I haven't washed it yet. And this fabric, this wool, really blooms with washing, so I really need to wash it. But I think I mentioned it in the videos as well. I've been without a central heating or heating of any kind for over a month. Yeah, about 5 weeks, 7 weeks, 5, 6, 7, I can't remember. The week before Christmas, and only this week did it get finished. And today is I think today is the 27th of January, and so that makes it quite a long time. It was cold this week, for British ideas. It was freezing, and I just didn't want to wash that and leave it out to dry in a house where drying was not a thing. It wasn't happening. So it still has to be done, and that's fine. And I actually like the different color at the top. There you go. It's one of those things, it happens. And yeah, I'm happy with the result, and I will, as in the design result, and I will see how it's going to, what's going to happen once I've washed it, and what's going to happen once I actually start wearing it, which will be soon. I'm going to take it with me, and I'm going to wash it in the Netherlands, because that's why I'm recording this early morning. I started 6 o'clock this morning because later on I will travel, and I'll be going to the Netherlands for a week. If I don't record it now, it will be another fortnight before I can record again. So I thought I'd better do it now. So this is how far I've gotten. These are all the short rows to make the back higher. I don't really know what to do next. I think I'm going to do at least one more short row. Again, like the grey sweater, I've created a couple of extra decreases to just cinch it together. It's the fabric. I think it's the fabric hanging out, because mathematically it should be higher. But yeah, the line is dropping and it should be there. When I do the I-cord bind off, it will also go in a bit, which would be helpful. But yeah, this is how far I've gotten. The stripe is some sort of green from Woolly Knit, because my brown was ending, and I was pretty sure that I wasn't having enough wool. I'll see if I can do the I-cord bind off just with brown, and then which will be possible, and then I will take the green on its own and make some sort of vest to go underneath. So this one, as long as it stays on my shoulders, it's fine. You know, it doesn't need to be close to the neck. But yeah, it still needs to go in a bit more. Wish me luck. And the moment of truth. Could I have done this from, I need to make sure it all hangs in. Could I have done this from one cone? And the answer is yes, I could have done it from one cone. Bother. Okay. Right, so that's a finished object. Then I wanted to make an extra layer. It was always the plan to have at least 2 layers, if not 3. And I planned it to be different colors, all in the kind of same family. So dark brown, one of the either rusty colored or cinnamon colored from Woolly Knit. Oh, there you go. One of those, or the is it cakey? I don't even know. Hang on. Oh, itching nose. So those. Cakey green it is. Cakey green. Which I used in that. So I started knitting a kind of vest, a t-shirt without sleeves, because it will be going up kind of straight-ish. And I've done quite a lot. It's a bit wrinkly from laying on the floor. Now this was interesting to me, and I don't know why it happened. I think I also mentioned it in one of the little videos I did whilst I was making it. That is on needle 3.5, I think. And for some reason, I don't know why, when I did my my swatch, the original swatch for the Woolly Knit yarns, I did 3 and 3.5, and that was it. And normally when I do a swatch, I start with a small needle, of which I kind of know that it's kind of, you know, a bit too tight, and I work my way up, and I work, so go up a size, go up a size, go up a size, all the way until the moment where I just know that it's just too big for what I have in mind at that moment in time, or that it doesn't knit nice. If for me, if the yarn's too, thin for the needles I'm working with. There comes a point where I don't like the process of knitting anymore. And I don't know, for this one I only did 3 and 3.5. And I looked at it and I thought that's a bit weird. And so I made another test, another swatch, and went up and up. And I did 4 and 4.5, and 5 definitely was not a nice needle to knit with for me with my hands and the way I like knitting. So I thought, since I've bought so much woolly knit yarn, I will create this top in the biggest sized needle that I still find comfortable knitting with. So this is knit in 4.5, and it's creating a completely different fabric, surprise surprise. But I just want to try it out. So I've got 3.5 there, I've got 4.5 here. I'm going to finish this, I'm going to wash it and do everything the same, and just see what kind of fabric I end up with and what I prefer most. Because 3.5, it's doable, it's quite fine for me, for my hands and for my sanity, because it takes a while to knit. And as I said, I've got quite a lot of woolly knit yarn at this moment in time. So I'd better create a couple of pieces that are lessons learned for me, which I'll still wear, but well, presumably I intend to wear them, but just that you can, for me, that I can figure out what's the best way forward. So this is I've split for the arms. This is going straight up with darts, and it will have a higher neck than that one. I think it's going to have a higher neck, although I really like that neckline. But if I'm going to layer it, then it would be nice if it was different. So there you go, next project. Then I started on another kind of vesty, tank toppy thing, which is similar to this, but for days when it's not quite as cold. So same fabric, same needles, nothing special. It's kind of 10 centimeters, 1 by 1 rib, and it's now going to be just stockinette going up. I'm not really sure how I'm going to shape it around the arms, because initially in my mind I was going to do a 1 by 1 rib around the arms and the neckline as well. But I think I'm in a phase of I-cord bind off. It's a really neat edging, and this doesn't need to go in that much, and also because this is how much is it? It's 13 stitches for 10 centimeters. So if I go in a bit in order to create a 1 by 1 rib around the arms and the neckline, in order to make it kind of visible, it needs to be in quite a bit, and that leaves a very narrow strip on the shoulders. I'm not there yet. It's all fine. I've got some knitting to do before I have to make those decisions. And I think you may have noticed by now that's how I knit. I make the decisions as I go along. So this is whip number 2. Then you may think, what happened to the cardigan? Well, nothing happened to the cardigan. And what is going to happen to the cardigan is that I'm going to rip it out. Oh, it's even started the process all by itself. So I had started this before I started the cakey green top. And I think in the previous video I already had my doubts about the color of the yarn. There's nothing wrong with the yarn, there's nothing wrong with the color, it's a beautiful color. And it's a bit blue for me. This cardigan is going to take an awful lot of work. And I want to be absolutely sure that I'm going to pick it up and wear it. And with this color, I'm not sure of that, just because of the blueness of it. So I'm going to rip it back, save the yarn. Maybe I'm going to turn it into a simple vest or t-shirt or something like that, something that I can pick up and wear. And I either wear it or I don't. But it will be telling then, won't it? Or I'm going to donate the yarn. I don't know yet. It's a lovely color. It's a lovely color, but as you can see what my palette is, and especially this is me in a scarf, and it does have some funky colors in it. So it fits together with other things, but since it's such a solid color, and since the cardigan I had designed with this in mind is big, as in it's all around the face, it's got a shawl, scarf, neckline, whatever you call it, so it really, you know, it's really there. So yeah, I'm going to rip this back. You win some, you lose some. I did, you will see on the videos that I made, there's a swatch that I did with those two colors held together. That's most probably going to be the cardigan. Most probably. Acquisitions, because that's all the works in progress. Finished-ish, green one, quite far, grey one, relatively far, cardigan, ripping back. So, acquisitions. I've been thinking about this, shall I, shan't I, shall I, shan't I? I did. So, I've got a couple of extra cones of woolly knit British wool yarn. Number one, this is, let me be precise by that, that took a while, Harvest Yellow. Harvest Yellow. I've got more. This one is dark grey. And now too, I really wonder how this is going to come across. How it's going to come across on camera. This one Yeah, see, it looks a bit orangey, red. It is red. It's red. Cherry red. It's a beautiful color. And then out of all of those, this is one I'm quite excited about. Cassette red? Cassette red. I don't know what cassette is. I've come across it in other yarns as well as color cassette. I have to look it up where it comes from. The reds are, well, both the reds and the harvest yellow. I've got a project in mind for that, which takes various colors of red and yellows and oranges and browns, and to create a multicolored cardigan. I know, what am I doing to myself? The dark grey is to go with light grey, also for a sweater I've got in mind. And the one what I'm going to take with me is the dark grey and the light grey. So that are the acquisitions for the time being. I did buy, I'm looking around now, but it's not here, it's in the car. I did buy 2 balls of grey to knit a ribbon to go along my daughter's Harry Potter scarf. I don't think I've got any photos. I do have photos of it, but I don't think I've put it in a video yet. Anyway, it will come. It will come. But that's just dark marled grey to go with that. Yeah. So short and sweet. I'm getting ready to go. Well, first to Watford, where I attend a Mind, Body, Spirit event from Marilyn Devonish and Gina Batt. I will be one of the speakers. I'll be doing a segment on body, and the segment on body is going to be 10 minutes long, which is very, I go like, okay, there's not that much you can tell in 10 minutes, but I'll figure it out. That's fine. And then I will see my daughter. Yeah, we'll meet up and hang out for a day, and then I'll take the boat to go to the Netherlands and be with my mom. It's been a while, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and to take my knitwear with me, and so she can actually see it in person rather than on video. That's going to be interesting as well. She's seen bits on video, but she didn't quite get it, you know. Why do you do that? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. So yes, I'll be going to the Netherlands. I will miss the Zwolle event, which is a shame, but I just could not stay that long. Too bad. Hang on. Yeah, so I'm going to the Netherlands for a week, and it will be nice to see my mum again and catch up with people. I will take some of my knitting along. It's one of the things I can do whilst I'm there. It's life, isn't it? You know, years ago I would stay at my parents' and just, you know, visit friends and family and go places. But now it's important to be there. It's life. It's fine. Right, so I've got a lot to do before I leave. As I said, I started at 6 o'clock this morning, which in itself is not too early. But yeah, I've got a list. I've got a long, long list. And there's some heavy duty things on there as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I can do whilst I'm in the Netherlands. And yeah, if I've got actually the time and the headspace and give it a name to get much knitting done. Oh, I did buy my mum some sock yarn. So my mum's been knitting her entire life, except for the past couple of years. And she used to knit my dad socks from scheepjes, but it was quite a thick yarn, and he would use those socks in his clogs. He would wear them all the time. Can I find thick sock yarn? No. So I found thin sock yarn, which is self-striping, and it gets a kind of Fair Isle motif without any trouble. So if my mum can handle the thickness of the yarn, because it becomes fiddly and she's getting older and her hands don't necessarily cooperate. So if she can handle the thinner yarn, the fact that it's self-striping might be interesting and might keep her going. I don't know. Alternatively, there's a second yarn, so it can be held double, which is a solid color. But I don't know what that does to the stripiness. If that, yeah, how it will come out. Of course, the self-striping yarn will still be self-striping, but whether it obscures it an awful lot or not, we will see. And having a double yarn doesn't knit easily because it's a very round yarn. With this, it's okay. It kind of sticks together, and yeah, there are times where you pick up just one strand rather than both of them. But on the whole, it sticks together. With the round sock yarn, it doesn't, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll present it to her, and it would be nice. It's a color I like, so if she's going to knit socks with it, I'm the very grateful recipient of it. Unless she really wants them for herself, then she can have them. Of course, that's absolutely fine. It's more the idea that she actually starts knitting again. Which reminds me, I've got a needlework thing for my mum. I'm going to pick that now. One moment. So the last thing my mum did do was needlework, and I found this in a charity shop. And the only thing is that it's checked and the needle is missing. I think this is quite nice. So I'm going to take that along for my mom. So this is all for today. Recording wise now in real time it's short, but I'm sure that once I put in all the other bits and pieces, it will be quite long again, and that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, I would say have a wonderful weekend, and until we meet again. And who knows, it might even be blocked and finished and watched, and who knows what I will have made. Have a good time. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again. See you. Bye bye.